Welcome to the Batman Arkham series, The Complete Story. Today it's time to talk about the Arkham Origins spin-off, Arkham Origins Blackgate. 3 months have passed since our previous game, and Batman is now officially feared among the criminals of Gotham. While some have been trying to challenge him, forcing him to remain ahead of the game, there hasn't been very many challenges for him. But one night he witnesses the cat burglar named Catwoman stealing some data from a company, and he confronts her. She offers him a deal: take half of it and let her go. But of course, he turns her down and he captures her. But as he begins to interrogate her, they find themselves interrupted by the Gotham City police. Since Batman isn't super buddies with the police yet, he leaves the area without knowing what she was uploading. 2 weeks later, a mysterious explosion happens at Blackgate, and with Gordon telling him that every crook in there wants him dead, he decides to break in to figure out what's going on, and he finds Catwoman as she's trying to escape. She explains that after the explosion, all of the big heads of crime took over certain areas of the prison. Penguin, Black Mask, and Joker have all taken control of their own sections. So Batman and Catwoman form a rather iffy alliance to try and free the hostages that she claims are down below, and remove these crooks and get them out of their sections. First up, Batman makes his way through Penguin's fight club, where he ends up fighting against Tiger, Penguin's toy as he puts it. After putting him down, Batman runs into the building to chase after Penguin, but he gets blocked by a steel door. Trying to find a way around, he comes across the Joker as the Joker is setting off explosives in the building. This leads to Batman running around the facility trying to avoid the Joker's traps and gases, but once he gets outside, he ends up being confronted by Deadshot. Deadshot was hired by all three of the big guys to protect them, forcing Batman to go on the defensive as Deadshot is trying to pick him off. He eventually makes his way over to Deadshot and he takes him out of the fight. And then using the vents, he makes his way to the meeting room where the warden is being held by the Joker. During this, Black Mask is trying to overload the generators, and Batman ends up fighting with Solomon Grundy down in the sewers. But once he drops Grundy, he makes his way up to Black Mask and he puts his whole team out of the fight. This is followed quickly by removing Penguin in his game, which only leaves the Joker left. But the Joker isn't so easy to put down. He rigged a new version of his Joker gas into the prison's air ducts, and he plans to turn the entire facility into his own unwilling slaves or mindless dolts. Batman gets to choose. Batman, of course, disarms the gas and he defeats the Joker while finally getting all of the keys to get into the space where he's been told the hostages are being kept. That's when things get a bit fishy though. Catwoman hasn't been completely honest with him up to this point, and he's beginning to figure that out, but he can't put his finger on what's going on. So he decides to go down and opens up the cell doors to the bottom cell where the hostages are supposedly kept. But once he opens the doors, he discovers that there aren't any hostages here. Catwoman has been playing him to let Bane out, because this was his cell. The whole thing has been a job for her to do. He was supposed to capture her and then send her to Blackgate, but then he showed up, so she needed to make up a new plan. She distracts him by setting up a bunch of bombs across the entire facility, but once he disarms them, he confronts her as she's trying to exit the facility with Bane. He does battle her and he wins, and then he demands to know who made the offer and who got her to do this. She tells him that she has no idea because it was anonymous and it was just an offer that she couldn't refuse. Before he can get any more information though, Rick Flag arrives and takes over the scene. He thanks Batman for his help, and he tells him that the government agency has it from here, as he puts handcuffs on Catwoman. Not happy with these results, Batman has no choice but to head back into Gotham and wait to see what happens next. Later that night, we discover that it was Amanda Waller behind the entire plan. She hired Catwoman, and she arranged for Bane's escape. Up next is the original Arkham Asylum that sent this entire series on the path that it's on now. I'm Benny for Eligible Monster, and make sure you follow us on Twitter @EligibleMonster, and we'll be bringing you the next game very soon.